What's up, YouTube? Is this ghetto with my bonnet? What's up, YouTube? Okay. Yeah, I have been trying to film this video, excuse me, for about, I want to say 3 months now. I already recorded the video, lost the footage, then tried to record it again. Then it said my phone was too full to record anything. So now I'm back, y'all. And I hope I get to make it through this video, get this uploaded, because this is something that I have been wanting to talk about for a minute now. So you already know by the title, this video is going to be about how I chose my therapist, okay? First and foremost, I want to say that, like, it took me going through, I want to say, was it 3 or was it 2? 2 therapists before I found the one that I have now. And I have had her since 2019. So, if y'all see me looking down or to the side, I'm looking at my iPad and my notes. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video. So, boom. When I first gave birth to my son, who is now 4 years old, I went through postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, right? So, after months of like having these feelings and just knowing that something was off, I went to the hospital and they basically diagnosed me and then was like, you have to go to, you have to do severe treatment, outpatient treatment, which was 3 times a week for 3.5 hours. So that was when I first got diagnosed. And so that setting was okay. It was in a group setting. It was about, I want to say maybe 12 of us at a time. And literally for 3 days a week, I would just sit in a group and we would talk. Well, they would talk because I didn't really say anything. But they would talk about different things, what they were, how they overcame certain things during the week and how they were adjusting to medicine, just whatever the case was. And so the setting was like, it was strange for me, one, because this was the very first time that I had ever gone to therapy. It was a combination of everything that I had been feeling from postpartum depression and anxiety to like, now I'm in this new setting where low key, I'm being forced, not necessarily forced to go, but like with the hospital diagnosing me, they were like, okay, here's the plan of treatment. So I had to like go there in order to be seen by like the psychiatrist and nurse practitioner and the therapist, right? So, because it was through the hospital's program. So, after, I want to say a week of being there, maybe 2 weeks of being there, I started to notice that like that setting wasn't for me. One, it was triggering a lot of the things that was being said during the meeting. And then I just didn't feel like I was being heard. Although I didn't even say anything, if I'm being quite honest. But like, I didn't feel like that there was time for me to be heard. Like, it was a 3.5 hour session, but it's 12 to 15 of us. And so you're just going through everybody. Some people may go over, and then a nurse practitioner will call you out of the meeting to like check on you and see like, how are you doing with your medicine? Did you want to increase? Did you want to decrease? Did you want to come off of it? Did you want to start medicine? And so by the time you went back to the meeting, it was just kind of like, now I'm just sitting here just listening. And so the age range, I think I was the youngest person there. And it went all the way up to like, some people were like 70 years old in there, So I believe like after a month, I was like, yeah, this not working for me. I don't feel like this is giving me any type of like, I don't think it's really serving its purpose in my life. So I chunked up the deuces and then boom, I found another therapist. Now, I found someone who was, he was actually referred to me. I went to the doctor's appointment and then let my doctor know like that I didn't like the treatment that I was getting at the like at the hospital setting. Like I just didn't like the mental, what am I trying to think of? Like just the meeting itself, right? As far as like the nurse practitioners, the psychiatrists, the therapists, they were all wonderful. But the setting and like the intensity of it, like how long I was going and just all of that stuff, that just wasn't the right fit for me. So I let my doctor know, like, hey, don't like it. I feel like I'm worse when I leave. Like I feel like even in a month I should have made some type of progress, just mentally or just something. I didn't expect it to be overnight, but I did feel like I needed to be seeing some type of improvement with something, right? So my doctor was like, okay, well, there's a therapist here at this site, you know, he's in there now. We could get you on his schedule. Like, I'm going to take you over there. I'll walk you over there so you could talk with him and things like that. So I went over there, and he was a black man, and I got on his schedule, and he was just telling me, you know, I look forward to seeing you and all of that stuff. So I want to say maybe like a week later, I started going to therapy with him. And yeah, this man literally just talked about himself the entire time. It was just like, hi. And don't get me wrong, I know that most therapists, especially for their initial meeting, they're going to tell you like their credentials so that you know, like, okay, I chose the right person, you know, to help me through my healing journey. You know, they want to let you know basically like you're in good hands. But when a therapist is going session 1 and session 2 and session 3 of like, you would say, yeah, so this week I had an issue with like trying to breathe through a trigger that brought back memories of my father passing, right? And then this man only talked about his father passing the whole entire session. You get what I'm saying? So like after that one, I was just like, okay, like after session 3 and you just keep talking about yourself and I can't even like express myself, and my insurance paying you for me to be able to express myself, and this ain't how it's going, I was like, yeah, time to wrap it up. Like, it's a wrap. So then I was just like really frustrated because at this point I'm like, okay, I done tried a couple different settings, and like I tried the one-on-one with a black person who I felt like, okay, and then I tried the group setting and it was just like nothing was working. So low key I had wanted to like kind of like give up, and I was just like, if maybe I have like my expectations of therapy are wrong, you know. And so I'm like, maybe I just need to try to figure something else out. But then I'm just like, okay, you know what? It'll either be 3rd time's the charm or 3 strikes you out, and we just not gonna worry about it. So I had called the back of my insurance card because I legit, y'all, like mentally, if you've ever been through postpartum depression and anxiety, like you have my prayers, you have my thoughts, because that time of my life was extremely, extremely hard. And so, or just anxiety and depression, period. But at that point, I knew like, okay, I need to get better. I want to get better. So let me just know that I 100% tried again before giving up on it. So I had prayed and I was like, God, please lead me to the right therapist, because I know that, like, I just believe that it could benefit my life. And I know I need some type of extra like assistance on working through these different emotions and stuff. Something that, you know, medicine can't get you through, and something that just talking to your friend or your significant other not going to get you through, like real deal techniques and things that I could carry on throughout a lifetime. So I called the back of my insurance card and I was like, hey, can y'all please give me a list of therapists that's in network? You know, I'm looking to, you know, go to therapy, whatever. So they sent me a list, and the very first person that was on my list, I called, and she didn't answer, but I left a voicemail and I was like, hello, you know, I'm seeking therapy. I have previously went to therapy and the settings just weren't right for me. I don't feel like it was a good fit. But I'm looking to just go again because, you know, I'm really trying to get better. So if you could please give me a call back, you know how the whole voicemail deal go, you know? So then, as I was like going down the list to, you know, call another one, she calls me back and she's like, hi, I received your voicemail. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself, and then you let me know if that feels like a good fit for you, and then, we can get you scheduled and have you come in. Baby, when I say that first, initial conversation on the phone just warmed my heart, because for her to say, before I even get you scheduled, let me make sure that you're the right fit, or I'm the right fit, because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your insurance money, any of that stuff. That meant a whole lot to me, So she just kind of asked me a couple of things. She was like, do you feel comfortable sharing over the phone? Just a little brief summary of what's been going on. And then, I can let you know what I specialize in, or not necessarily specialize in, but what the clients she tend to take on a lot more, that she feels like she can really help them, get to the other side type stuff. And so that was probably a 10-minute conversation. And I had knew all right, 100%, this lady is the one. So then, boom, I ended up going to her, right? And the thing with her was, I had an expectation of okay, I want to share. I want to be able to get these things out, my feelings out, and the different things that I just had built up. But I also want to heal on my time, right? My timeline. Okay, I don't want to take things too fast. I don't want to get to digging deep at the roots. I don't want to I want to tell you what I want to do, basically. I want to come here and vent, and then I want to tell you what we're going to deep dive into, or what we not, but just hear me out, at least, And so I quickly learned, baby, she wasn't having it. She was not having it. This lady gave me homework, and it wasn't no homework that was go home and then tell me what's 2 + 2 and come back and let me know. Absolutely not. This was, I'm gonna need for you to try to think about when this trigger started, where it started, who it started with. We're gonna bring them in, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, baby, nah, you trying to do a little too much. I just wanted to come here, cry on your couch. You tell me some different ways to get through this trigger, and then I go home and then I see you in 2 weeks or next month, however we want to schedule, But that wasn't her. She was not having it. She look, we gonna get to the root of the issue, or we ain't gonna do nothing at all, because I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna play with your time, not gonna play with your money, and that ain't the type of therapist I am. So y'all, what I do? I ran. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I ran. And I know what y'all probably thinking, girl, you done went through 2 different therapy sessions, 2 different therapy settings, then found the therapist that you wanted. Then you got what you wanted and you run. That's exactly what I did. I did. I'm not going to fake it with y'all, because it was just it was really intense. It was intense. And it was just kind of man, she was what I wanted, but I didn't think you was finna go this hard this soon, So I ended up ghosting her, y'all. She'll tell y'all. She'll tell you 100%. I ghosted her. She called me, hey, haven't heard from you. Your session was this day. Baby, I don't want to return no phone call, no text message, no nothing. I just went ghost. And I had already knew, because I had a couple sessions with her, that if she didn't hear from you in 30 days, you were no longer a client. It was none of that. So I was cool with I'm shoot, whatever. But then, y'all, I started going through our life. I had went back to work after having my son. I was off for I want to say 4 months. It was 4 months. And so I went back to work, and yeah, I just remember crying and crying, almost every single day, just knowing that I hadn't made the right decision of stopping my healing journey, and I had prayed for something and then fumbled the bag, and I feel like I let myself down. And so I was honestly scared to call her back, because it had been a month or 2, and I was just she ain't no way she taking me back. I already knew she told me how her stuff go with, if you don't want to do this, then there are plenty of other people who are out here and they are serious about their healing journey. And like, I want to make room for those people. So if you're not one of those, see you later. No hard feelings. You know, I hope that you figure it out. And so like, I ended up like praying. And at first I had to like ask God for forgiveness because I was like, y'all hold on. Because my son playing with this thing. Excuse me. So I ended up praying and having to like repent and ask God for forgiveness because I was like, Lord, you gave me exactly what it is that I wanted, you know, exactly what it is that I needed, especially. And I just stopped going because I got scared, you know. And I just remember praying and saying, God, if it's in your will and, you know, if that's the right therapist for me, give me the courage to do the work and help her to take me back into her clientele. So I had prayed that prayer, and then I was still just really, really scared, right? And I was just like, okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna just call. And I had my fingers crossed that she didn't answer the phone so I could leave a voicemail. Like, that's how scared I was, y'all. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna just call it, just get it over with. The worst you could say is no, and then it is what it is. I just gotta, you know, go on. But I just knew I had to get better because clearly running away didn't make it better because I was still at the same place, right? So I called her. She did answer the phone, which I was extremely excited about. And so I was trying to leave a message, but don't y'all know how like when you leaving too long of a message, it stopped? That's exactly what it did. So I hurried up and deleted the message, and then I had just text her. She texted me back after I reached out and was like, I need you to reach back out in a month. My caseload is full. She was saying she had a lot of clients, and so she was like, I've been having people to reach back out in a month to see if I have open availability. So that's what I did. I waited a month, literally a month, and then I texted her and was like, good morning, I'm reaching out to see if you have anything available for me, and if so, I would love to schedule an appointment. So she called me, and then I got scheduled. So after that, I just remember that first session. I was like, all right, look, I don't care if the homework too hard. I don't care if the session is too hard. Like, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. So then I ended up going to that water. Chunky. So I ended up, you know, going to my first session, and I was just ready. Yeah, I hit the ground running. I'm like, I don't care if the homework is hard. I don't care if the session is hard. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get healed. So I went, and then I just remember like I wasn't as afraid this time, but I was like, because I hadn't healed, you know, I was very much nervous to a certain extent, but this time it was different. So I went. Anybody she told me I needed to bring in, I brought them. Anytime she told me to do homework, I did it. Anytime it was like, I need you to like dive deep into this and like we got to bring this up and out, that's exactly what I did. And when I say it was literally one of the best decisions that I have made in my entire life, 100% the best decision. And so, yeah, that was pretty much how I chose my therapist, y'all. I chose a person who was like, I ain't finna sit here and be that therapist that just take your money, let you sit up on this couch and cry, and then make you feel like that's what therapy is. Like, this is a real deal healing journey because your life is dependent on it. And so I appreciate her 100% for that. And so I remember one of the main things she told me that when I came back and was like, your yes is bigger than you. So like, yes, you coming to therapy is directly helping your life. However, people seeing you heal and like you on your healing journey is going to encourage the next person to start theirs, and then the next person, and it's just going to be a domino effect. And I can 100% say that sitting here, even though I started with her in 2019, and here it is 2023, I can honestly say I have seen a positive domino effect. I'm appreciative. I'm extremely grateful for my therapist. I'm like, I knew that when God created her, he had me in mind. That's just how much she has greatly and positively impacted my life. I just want to encourage you all to go to therapy, and don't stop when it's not the right fit. You know, like I said, it took me going through 2 other different settings before I found my therapist. Now, I'm also not saying like be like me and run when the setting is right, and it's just like you're scared and self-sabotaging because it didn't meet your it exceeded your expectations with what you felt like healing was. So just pray, ask God for discernment to know the difference between one that's not a good fit and one that is, that you just have to get accustomed to, you know. So I feel like that's really the main things I wanted to cover, y'all. As always, like I tell y'all, I feel like even if you didn't go through anything traumatic, even if you didn't have a child and went through postpartum depression and anxiety, even if you didn't lose a parent or a loved one, go to therapy. Being Black in America is therapy is enough reason to go to therapy. Like if we being truthful, you know. So I think that's all for now. I'm so sorry it took me so long to give y'all this video, but if y'all could give this video a thumbs up, share it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can know every time I post a new video. That's another thing, y'all. I have waited and sat back so long on like mental health content and just all things mental health. And with me being in school for psychology now, like all of my professors and just the psychology community is like, look, get started now, get involved in your community, help people out now, don't wait till you graduate. And honestly, y'all, that was another thing I was kind of like self-sabotaging myself about. Like, I don't really know, like, if I want to just throw myself out there while still getting my degree. Not trying, because baby, I'm doing, but while still getting my degree, you know. But it was just kind of like all confirmation of like, no, get started now, put the information out there now, help other people right now. So I promise y'all, give me y'all pinky. We can pinky promise that I am giving y'all mental health content, okay? All 2023, all 2024, and so on and so forth. So again, like, comment some things that y'all want to hear me talk about, or things y'all want to discuss. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see y'all in the next video.